All right, so we're continuing over here, the ending of the Hagoeh, Mihu al Posik Shir Hashirim. The Alter Rebbe continues that Mihu al Posik Shir Hashirim Nisbair Le'il, that he's discussing exactly what is the idea of the Shekhinah. He brought down whether it's the idea of Malchus or we say in Atzilus, he had the discussion, so he brings down that on the Pasuk Shir Hashirim is Bayer Le'il, so he explained earlier, Bechinas Shchinta Ilo. So over there he explains what is the meaning of Shchinta Ilo. So he says, V'hainu Bechinas Bina. Shchinta Ilo is the level of Bina. So here we're discussing the whole time that the Shchinta is the level of Malchus. And discussed about the two levels of Malchus. We have the way Malchus is in Atzilus, and then we have the way Malchus comes down into Bria. But over there he explains that the Shchinta Eloi Bino Pirush Hatam Bepardis. So the Tam, the reason explained in the Pardishom, is Mipnei Shemishkones Gimul Rishonis Al Sheva Sfiris Habinyan. Since the three first ones, those are Chochmah Bina Das, they are on top of the seven spheres that follow Chesed, Gvura, Tiferes, etc. So because they are on top, that's why that's called the Mishkan there. So basically over there it sounds like Mishkan is the Gimel Rishonis, is the level of Bina, which is the expression of the Gimel Rishonis. So he says, so likewise we can say that also the level of Malchus, as it is in Atzilus, is also called the Shekhinah, I guess because she is shoichen over the spheres of Bria. I am bezoyer harikia reish parshas Bereishis ubesefer Eshel Avraham Shom gabe kishoshano kulu kein rayosi. V'hinei b'likute hashas la'orizal b'divra maschil. In the Likute over there on the opening, it starts with Da'am Hasha Amru Razal Lichi Umatich Atzmech, as Atzmech, go and diminish yourself. Mashki Ma Gamkein, K'meshe Kosuv HaMagi LaRab Beis Yosef. Over there, it's also mashma, like the Magid said that Rabbi Yosef that he quoted before. That the level of Shechina is in the level of Atzilus. Ein schon b'mashe kosuv u'b'chinas zu nemar l'b'chi u'maytes atzmech chulu. So over there it says ki malchus d'Atzilus einei redes l'mata chulu, because malchus d'Atzilus does not go down below. So the Alter Rebbe reconciled this because he said there's the two levels of malchus. There's the level of atik of malchus, which is einei redes. And then there is the level of Arich, which is Yeredis, as discussed earlier. Beitz Chaim Sharmem Zayin Reish Perikei Kosav V'hinei Soid Atik Yoimin Debriya. When we talk about the secret of Atik Yoimin Debriya, that's the Keser of Bria and the Atik of the Keser, who Soid Nekudas Malchus Da Atzilus. So that's the secret in the Kodesh. Told it to go down and diminish itself, become, so no longer be in Atzilus, but go down to Bria. Or not to become a source for Bria. Kizuhi Roish L'Kol Habria. For this is the beginning of all the Bria, Vusoid Atik Yom in the Bria, Atkan L'Shoyim. Ba'ain Shom Gamkin Sharmem Aleph Soif Perik Beis, Ubesharmem Zayim Perik Aleph, it writes, V'nekol Dover Shebegdusha, Oise Roishem B'Mekoymei. That everything in Kedusha leaves a mark, makes a mark where it was. Apopishin is Talek Mishom. Even though it's went away from there. It's always left over there. So apparently that Nekuda, that level of Atik Yomin. I'm a part of Sharam Etzis, Perik Aleph, I'm a Pirish Ramaz, Bezoya, Reish Parshis Yisrael, Dav Samach Beis, Omed Beis, Kabi Yismael Chlotato. Okay, this is the end of this long parentheses in which he has the whole discussion about the level of Malchus, the level of Atik and of Bria, and the level of Keser of Bria, as he explained in this parenthesis. So now we Mamshech. Just like we have two levels. We discussed the two levels in the Kelim. We started off so you have the level of the Kelim, the way they're in Atzilus, and where they're Alakus Mamish, and then you have the way they come down into Bria. So likewise, he wants to say we have the Neshamas. We have the Benois Yerushalayim. Those are the Neshamas that are in Atzilus. And then you have the Neshamas, the way they come down in Bria, in which they're called Shchoirani, but Vinova. So Koyim became in Neshamas, Yesh Beis Bechinas, two Bechinas. Hine, and Neshamas, Shorshamu Bechinas Pnimis HaKelim D'Atzilus. The Neshamas are rooted from the inner of the Kelim of Atzilus. You have Chitzoinis HaKelim and Pnimis HaKelim. We have the oil in the Kelim, but within the Kelim itself, there is the Pnimis and Chitzoinis, and the Neshamas come from Pnimis HaKelim. V'agam shah neshama hi bal gevul. How could you say in Atzilus? Atzilus is Ein Soif. The Chayra should be Bligvul. How could we say that the Neshama comes from Atzilus, Pnimig Atzilus, and the Neshama is already measured, limited as a Neshama? Agam Shan Neshama hi bal gevul, even though it is a limited, the Neshama is limited. But same thing is true with the Oiris and Kelim Datzilus. The Kelim also are limited. So while the Oiris are unlimited, but the Kelim are in a level of a limit and have an end. On this level of Gevul, of Kelim, we're saying that Shiur Koima Shel Yotzer Bereshis. What is the measure of the height of the one who created all the beginning? He says, Reish Lamed Vav Alofim, Revavis Parsos, 236 times 10,000 parsos. That's the height. So it's still a gevul. That's the kelim. That's ilus. That's the shir koyma yitzubreishis. Velochein inyan gilui haha orem eser svireis. And because there's a limitation, so the revelation of the orem eser svireis, yes, kama bechinas shoynes, there are various different levels. Sometimes the oil is over the keli, Ba'oz hagilui b'v'chinas eser sfiros. And then there's a level of eser sfiros. It's on the level of Ein Sof. Gilu b'china b'eser upamakli gover. And sometimes the keli is gover, which means then it's more limited. But v'haneshama nimshechu mipnimis hakelim. But the neshamas come from the pnimis hakelim. But they come from the gvul, lachem hem bechinas gvul. That's why they're gvul. Shah keli magbilim ha'oir. The keli limits the light. Lachem shaykh li kore b'shem neshama. If it was bli gvul, then we wouldn't call it neshama. It's not. That's a limit. So that's what we call it neshama. Begam. In addition. Not only is it limited, but Shaneshama Ketana Harbe Makilim Atzmanu Ketibim Mayam. Chulu. Also, the neshama is much smaller than the kelim themselves. It's like a drop of the Yabukiyonus. That's the comparison of the limitation of the neshamas. Is like a drop from the Okeanos ocean relative to the kelim of Atzilus. So you have the neshama the way it's lamailo, and then we have the neshama the way it comes down lamata. V'hinei ba'oid ha-neshama lamailo, when the neshama is above, nikra achim v'reim lezo. Then we call it. They're like in a letter of a brother, a friend to Zoh, which means they're basically on the same level as Zoh, versus a child versus Bnei Yerushalayim, which is the letter of a daughter. But over there, they're like brothers. They're on the same level, like a brother, the same level as Zoh. But so then they're not even Bnei Yerushalayim yet, but through the yichud of Zav and Nukva, which is the Midos and Malchus, the Zav and Nukva, Liyos bechinas ibur b'Malchus Atzilus. Then they become in the level that there's a pregnancy the way they're in Malchus Atzilus. V'zeu Mamer Eliyahu Chaya Baye Asher Amadeti Lefono. So lechatchila it was a level of Amadeti Lefonov that they were Achim V'Reim. But when it comes then, it comes down in the level of Malchus Atzilus. Or maybe Chayav Hashem Atlafonim is talking about when it is already Malchus Atzilus. Yeah, it's more mashma like that. When it is in the beginners of Ibra Malchus Atzilus, is a Malchus Be'oz Nikra B'nois Yerushalayim. So when it comes into the level of Ibur, into the level of the Malchus, then we call it already B'nois Yerushalayim. That's the daughter, not anymore Achim V'Reim, but the B'nai Yerushalayim. If he Shekashan Neshom Oimed Shom, when the neshama stands there in the level of Malchus, why is it called B'nai Yerushalayim? He betachlis hayichud. In that situation, it's total unity. Ubitul be'oire in sof. And the subjugation in the infinite light of the Ein Sof, shekoit maparsa, that is prior to the parsa, that it is between a keser and atzilus. It stands at that level in the similar me'im bitl the kelim. Hakelim Deshiris Atzma. Similar, somewhat of the subjugation of the Kelim, the Sfiris Atzmam, the Ivagamaychad, in which Hashem and the Kelim are one. So just like the Kelim have this bittul, the bittul to the total bittul, to the Ein Sof Shekid Maparsa, likewise is the Bnei Yerushalayim who are Malchus Datzilus. Ba'im HaShekosu B'Parshas Yisro Be'Biur Dizocher Hashem HaShabbos Chulu Ba'al Posik V'Samti Katkoin. V'Zeu Pirush B'Nei Yerushalayim. And this is the meaning of B'Nei Yerushalayim. Sheyicholim lekabel b'chinas yireh shebemalchus b'shleimus. These neshamas are able to get the level of yireh in malchus fully. These neshamas that are b'chinas ibur, B'nei Yerushalayim. Zo b'chinas sheneshama shenesati b'toirei. That's the level in which we say that the neshama is a tohir. Nahainu ba'oida b'atzilus kinal. That is when it's in atzilus. So over there, that's still in the level of malchus, in the pregnancy of malchus atzilus. Achar kach, and then after that is ato baroso, goes down to the level of bria from tohira. I know she read this on neshama bria. That's when the neshama descends to bria. Biyadua, and it's known that shebein atzilus lebria yesh parsa hanikra b'l'sheina gemara pargid. That between us there is a curtain that in the Gemara it's called a pargid. Ra'isi ma'choyre ha-pargid. Over there we find the lashon in the Gemara. Pargid is the curtain. That's the curtain that is between Atzilus and Bria. So why does it have to go through that curtain? In order that it should be able to be a created being. The neshama should be able to be a nivra. Nimtzo, turns out, malchus, yes, beis bechinas. Just like in malchus, there's two levels. Aleph hayoysa b'atzilus. The number one that it is in atzilus. And habeis mashe shoichenes beichel koche koche. And the second, but the rest is eichel koche koche the biyah. V'nasatik the bria canal, and then it becomes malchus a keser and atik. For bria, moikein b'neshama shenim shochem epinimis hakelim. The malchus likewise the neshamas, who are drawn from the pnimis hakel malchus. Yesh gamkein beis b'chinas al derech zeh. Also have similarly these two madregas. So inyan tahirahi atabarosa. So you have the level of the neshama, the way it's b'chinas ibur imalchus atzilus. That's tahirahi, and then you have the neshama as it becomes a bria atabarosa, that it comes out into the world of bia. So now we have the Shcheira and even Nova speaking to the Bnei Yerushalayim, the part of the neshama that comes into Bria. When it comes down to the level of Bria, it gets the level of Kalam. It gets the level of yearning, which is a greater Maila than even when the neshama, the way it's in Atzilus. Oz nikras kalo loshen kol sanafshi. So then the neshama is called kalo. That's the language of kol son nafshi. My soul expires. Kiloyim. Ukameisha kosu biidre zuta. Dafresh tzadik omed beis. Yidei nikri kalo. Now she's called kalo. Why? Hainu, and that is Lefi sheyorda b'bria. Shehu bal gvul, because it descended in bria, which is bal gvul. Now, before he says the neshama, even in Atzilus is a bal gvul, but the whole Atzilus itself, the oiris over there are bligvul. Lefi sheyorda b'bria shehu bal gvul. Mashen came by Atzilus, had oiris and b'chinas of the oiris. Kelim atake gvul. But the oiris, so generally Atzilus is Ein Sof, but here now the Guru Kain. Kolso nafshi mosai oboy ve'ira. That's why the soul expires. When will I come to see his galus Ein Sof, the revelation of the infinite, not to be limited. Ibebriya ha'is galus ubechinas gvul v'tzimtzum. By the aparsa, because in Bria the revelation is limited and restricted, and it comes through the curtain, through the paragate, through the cover. So that's why Hamalachim Oimrim Gimel Pa'amim Kodesh. The Malachim say 3 times Kodesh. What is 3 times Kodesh? Because it's a limited. Every Kodesh carries them through 4 hours. Sebechol Dalet Shois. The day is divided into 3 hours, a 12-hour day divided into 3. So every 4 hours, Omer Kodesh Mechodesh, he says another Kodesh, every 4 hours. Why is that? Because the grasping and the flow that was nimshach to the malach, who begvul, is limited. So that excitement from that his galus lasts for 4 hours. Till after he says another kodesh. His galus has soga. For had the revelation of his grasping been extended to him from the level of Malchus more than that limited 4-hour piece, then he would have been totally negated from his existence. Would be no more Metzias. Mamer, like we say, that Hashem stretched out his small finger and they burned, which means it was too much of his galus. Small finger, which means more than they can contain. Okay, so now you're living, the neshama is living in a level of limitation. So therefore, the neshama that is there in the level of bria, in a way about glul, ozhan klois hanefesh. So what is the soul expiring? Lo ve'mibchinas bal gvul, from the level of limitation, his galus bilti bagvul, to a revelation which is unlimited. What shuka is galus ukleis hanefesh yisera. That is the yearning for the revelation and the expiring of the soul more. Mosai ovivera. When will I come to see ki adayin lebo? He hasn't come yet. Right now, he's in the level of limitation. He's looking up. He says, "When will I come to the bligvul?" Zo was the pasuk Zichrus Hashem Erochi. That you remember Hashem Erochi from a distance. You're far away, and you remember Hashem. That's why it's called Kala. That level of Kala is a level that the neshama has because of its distance. But that's actually a Maila. But the neshamas that are standing in Atzilus, Nikru achoisi. They're called achoisi. And apparently, even if they're in the level of ibur, as we said before, he says, then they go through malchus, but there too, they're in a level of achoisi. She'ein ha'avek berish be'eish al derech b'chinas kala. That love is not with such fire, such sparkling fire, like a kala, like a bride. Ki'im ava behester b'chinas bittel. The love of a sister is hidden, and it's in a way of subjugation. The Shom Nemar, about that level of the neshama, the way it's above, over there is written what the pasuk says, besulois, while they're still a besuloy, a virgin, while they're still in atzilus, achareo re'yosabech lamelech, while they are in the heichal de melech, they follow the re'yosah, which means that they're in a level of love, but it's a limited. She'emdim shom be'eicholos the atzilus. There's the shamas at that point. They are standing over there in the rooms of atzilus. Umekablim b'chin. They're in heichla hamelach. Kablim b'chinas yira shebisham b'shleimus, or yira shebishem. Not sure the name that's there, but they get the yira b'shleimus. V'lochein nikroim b'nei Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim. That's the complete, the full level of yira, the way they are in Atzilus. Even though the Shomas, we said before, even they are there in a level of Balgvul. Commotion is barely ill. That the neshama comes in a kelim which is limited. But Mekoma Koim Shom, nevertheless, over there, it's Iyu v'chayoyi v'garmoyi chad. Over there, Hashem and His life and His energy and the oiris, and also the kelim, is one. And since it's all one, v'oiru b'chinas ein sof. That's why the oiris ain't sof. So while they're limited, but yet they're bottled to the ein sof. V'lochein al kol ponim. Over there, at least they are bottled to the Einusof that is before the curtain. But in Bria, they don't have that. They have the level of Kala. They have the level of yearning. That's why now it's called the Kala. So it turns out, therefore, that that this descent and this distance actually causes a greater elevation. That's the way they become level of kalas. Through coming down in biyad in the shama, it gets to the level, becomes upright. So at that point, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is called the Chosn. Once they're a bride, then the Eibishter b'Chosn. K'meshe Kosu, we find the Eibishter b'Yoyim, Kasu Nosei, Zumat and Torah. Then the Eibishter the Chosn. They have a marriage, Mat and Torah. It says, Ki noiv lo is chokhma shalamaylo Torah. Because the noivlois, the leftover chokhmah of above is Torah, is going to equate the, just like the hashpoah from a chosen to a kala, the hashpoah is the same thing, is the hashpoah of Torah to dafkin, the level of Bria, to the neshama from the chasnosoi from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, who's the chosen. This would be like similar to the physical seed. That it comes down, it descends, and it's nimshach from the actually moyach, from the mind. Through the descent as it went through the Ishtalshlus, by means of the spinal cord, Nizgashma v'nase tipya gashmis, it has physicalized and became a physical seed. And yet, even though it's physical, it has from the power of the moichin and the essence that'll give birth similar to the father. By Cain, same thing is the Nevel's Chacham, the tip of the Torah. By Cain, HaTorah nimshcha mi'b'chinas chakim v'lev chachma yediyah. Torah comes from the level of chacham v'yediyah. V'nishtal shelo lemato ad sheyuchaliyis mulubeshes begashmis. It descended below until it can dress up in gashmis. V'al Cain nikra noivlois. That's why we call it noivlois, because it's a physical life, energized power that the Torah has, just similar to the Tippa. It's a noivlis, but it's really the Chokmah itself. Zriya, the Riyas Hagarin, see the Garin, Kulu, Umashikosu Mokamachar, Aposik Mamer, Mamer Bezoyer, Bepashis Bereshit, Avkov Zayin, Eselo Ezer, so it says over there in the Zoyar Dom Mishnah, as explained over there. Ukemoi Hatiposh in his Gashma Chulo, Vinikletes Bebchinas Kalo, just as the seed that has become physicalized and it's absorbed in the level of Kala, which is what's the level of Kala by the Torah? Harim Neshamas Yisrael. That is Neshamas Yisrael. Shalom dim ha-Torah b'olam hazeh. They learn Torah in this world. That means that it's being that tip of that novelous chokhmah, milamayla, is being absorbed by them by learning Torah. Lochein, for that reason, Neshamas koidim shenivroim ba'odim b'chinas ibur. The souls before they're born, while they're still in the level of pregnancy, Malchus Atzilus, Lamdim Oiso Kol HaTorah. They teach that soul all of the Torah. And then the Malach comes and gives a smack and forgets all the Torah. So why did it teach it? So that through the effort of the person, so he should go back to his study, Shuklipas Atipa, which is to absorb that seed, Al Derech Moshu, Shehu HaTorah Mashiach Lamata. That's the Torah with Lamata. So when they learn the Torah, they learn it in the level of Atzilus, the level of Ibur and Malchus Atzilus. But we're giving them later on, when they're going to effort, when they come down to Bria, they should be able to, through effort, get absorbing that tipah. And that's why we say Chasana is Matan Torah. When the Eibishter is the marriage, is Matan Torah. Why? Because Torah, Kibchinas is Galus HaTorah Viridas Olamato, Ubchinas Chasan. That the way it comes down, that's the level of Chasan. And Bchinas Chasan, which is Chus Darge. Chasan is to lower level. Lovoi Bizgalus HaTorah. It should come down. The Torah should be revealed from the level of Chochmei Law ad shenikletas b'chinas kala, to the extent it will be absorbed in the level of the kala, which is the Yidden learning Torah and understanding it. Lochein b'shir hashirim nisker hakoil b'loshen choson v'kala. Everything is talked about choson and kala. That's the language in shir hashirim. V'gam b'loshen doidi. and also in the language of my beloved, which is also an expression of love. Because just as it is with every soul, specifically, that Shebi Yiridosa Bibiyah Davke Nikra Kalam. When it descends into Biyah, that's when they call that Kalam. Kachu Bebchinas Malchus. Same thing is with the letter of Sfiras HaMalchus. Shebi Yiridosa Liyos Atik Libriya Oz Davke Nikra B'Shem Kala. That when it comes down to become an Atik to Bria, that's when it is called with the name of a Kala.